Hello, welcome to TJD Movie Reviews.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Episode 7, we watched Spies Like Us.
The cult classic 1980s hit starring Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd.
Was it really a hit?
At the time, yeah, it was a box office success.
Office?
Yeah, Office.
It surpassed The Office success?
I'm sure it was probably due to their popularity at Saturday Night Live at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chevy was only on for one season.
Well,
and everyone fucking hated him.
Yeah. Lorne Michaels was not a fan.
And that's then why they ended up going with Bill Murray, and then Chevy Chase hated Bill Murray. I mean, for other reasons as well, but that didn't help.
Yeah.
I hear rumors that Bill Murray's a dickhead, but I can't see him being a dickhead. I don't know why we're talking about Bill Murray. Bill Murray's not in this movie.
No, he's not.
Bob Hope is.
Yep.
That's not Bill Murray.
No, but
but it's just as good.
B.B. King also makes a cameo.
There's lots of people, lots of famous actors and actresses that have...
And a whole shit ton of Pepsi.
Well, just that one scene.
Well, that scene was a little ridiculous with the Pepsi, though.
Yeah.
It was. Anyways, let's talk about the synopsis of the movie. Pretty much, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase are two low agents in the CIA,
Mm-hmm.
or in the national government. They're guys.
Fuck-ups.
Yeah, they're screw ups, fuck ups, whatever you want to call them. Actually, Dan Aykroyd's character is really smart, but he's being held down.
That was a funny scene.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd being smart.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, I saw Egon and I want to do that, so I'll just be Egon in my next movie.
Ghostbusters hadn't happened yet.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I just thought it was funny. He was like a code cracker or whatever, and like he had cracked this Chinese code using like some code generator or something. Got out of a Lucky Charms box,
Like one of those old superhero ring codes.
Yeah,
that used to
decoder
get.
ring.
Mm-hmm.
like that shit from like Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drink more Ovaltine.
Yeah.
I've never had a glass of Ovaltine in my life.
I don't think I have either.
No.
I used to get that Nestle Quick stuff with that fucking rabbit that was always floating in rivers of shit in the cartoons. And as a kid, you're like, I want to float in a river of shit. I'm going to buy this product. Scrunched up chemical chocolate shit.
It's supposed to be chocolate.
It's supposed to be chocolate, but what is it, Ty?
I don't know. I never drank it. I never drank Nesquik.
I drank it. Probably die next year.
Anyways, Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase are these two agents. They're supposed to take this test. Well, there's this whole other side thing where this group is looking for two patsies. They're going to have an actual group of agents, and they want two decoys. And that's where Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd now end up going overseas, like Pakistan, right?
Yes,
Pakistan into Russia. Their whole thing is to distract. They don't know that, but their whole thing is to distract for the other team. But they actually end up then being the villains / heroes at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the test part was the funniest gag of
I
the whole
agree.
movie.
Yes.
And then everything after was just kind of... You have Chevy Chase, who's known for being like the zany, whatever, kind of the
Wink
straight
at the
man.
camera.
Right, but, he fucks up, and it's kind of funny because he can kind of be like, well, I can understand how you'd fuck up. And then you have Aykroyd, who's... I've never been a fan, really. He's kind of just the filler character. But neither one of them really got to run anywhere in this. It was kind of them... Like, me personally, I didn't feel either one of them ever really had, a standout moment. It was just kind of, hey, here's a gag. Hey, here's a thing where, I took it too literally what you said, and hey, let's chuckle about that. Like, how do we reach it from over here? Oh,
That was actually only in the Family Guy episode.
Right. But that was such a stupid thing that would have made sense in the movie, and I don't know.
Like what you're talking about is near the end when they're trying to deactivate the missile. Spoiler. Deactivate the missile. Chevy Chase, takes a rock, destroys this sat box communicator, and he goes,
why don't you bring it over here?
Yeah, and so then Chevy goes to bring him the rock, and he's like, no, not the rock, the other thing. So then Chevy drops the rock, picks that up. So literal humor. I found it quite funny, but I've watched this movie quite a few times. This is my type of humor, the literal stuff. It's cheap gags, but I find it funny.
The thing is, I like movies with kind of stupid humor too. I like Hot Shots. I like Top Secret. I like those movies. Airplane, yeah. But those are more interesting to me than everything in the movie. I think at the end of the day, what my problem with this movie was it didn't commit to being a comedy or a spy movie. It was trying too hard to be both. Almost too much to be like a legit spy movie that just didn't take itself super seriously. So every now and then you had like a gag and you were like, whatever, Maybe it was just me.
Well, no, I think like in terms of movies within that genre, like Naked Gun or Airplane or Hot Shots, those types of movies, like like right away that it's a comedy. Like,
yeah.
Immediately. But I mean, when you back in the '80s when this movie came out, I'm sure they built it as a comedy.
Right. I'm sure the marketing was all around all the gags and that kind of shit to get people to see it.
It was a while in terms of the build up for the story in this movie before we even see Chevy Chase or Dan Aykroyd. It's mostly just kind of the setup to the story where they're going to pick two guys to run this program.
Yeah, but you do kind of start with a joke. I mean, the guy who brings... there's like the CIA/government working with this outside organization, and they get delivered these new satellite photos, because it's the Cold War, so they're watching the Russians move around all these nuclear weapons, and they hide the guy in the closet so he can't see, because they can't unstrap the briefcase from his wrist. They hide him in a closet. So it's supposed to be kind of a sight gag that you see this guy hiding in the closet with this briefcase sitting on a table, and you just see the handcuff there. But, not everyone's like, oh, that's funny. It's like, it's kind of, but it's just a passing joke. Kind of just a sight gag. But yeah, I understand like people not enjoying, this isn't a type of movie that everyone's going to enjoy. I mean, it is very dry. I would put it on...
Dry for her pleasure.
Said no one ever.
Look on Drew's face. He's like, he just gives me a look like, I hate that you're focusing on me right now as you say this.
Like, what movie would you... Like, you guys talked about Naked Gun, Hot Shots, Top Secret. Would you put all three of those above this film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Hot Shots and Naked Gun. Naked Gun I put above all those. But I would put Hot Shots and Naked Gun above it, definitely. I think it's on the same level as Top Secret.
Airplane?
Airplane's above it.
I've never seen Top Secret, so I couldn't tell you.
Val Kilmer. It's pretty good.
Very
yeah.
Young Val Kilmer. Playing kind of an Elvis Presley type of thing. He's an accidental spy. A lot of it's the same people who did Hot Shots and Airplane.
Okay.
So...
I don't know. I think if you're going to do that kind of humor, it needs to be more energetic than this movie. This movie's borderline lethargic for a lot of it. There's riding fucking camels through the desert. There's going through the mountains and shit. And
driving in the desert.
There's a lot of driving.
Walking in the mountains.
There's just a lot of dicking around. And... there's not a lot of, I don't know, you have characters, but they're not, like, super fleshed out, really. Like, their relationship together, when, like, I don't know, there was a part at the end where they're, like, buddy-buddy or something. I was like, I didn't really get that from watching everything they've done together.
And see, they only really did it together because it was a way not to get fired.
Right.
Because, like we talked about, there's a scene early on in the film where they're taking this test, and both of them are trying to cheat. Not only off of each other, but off of other people. And it is a pretty hilarious scene of them just bumbling around trying to take this test.
I did enjoy that scene. I thought it was pretty good.
That was easily the funniest part of the movie.
And so they're going to get in trouble because the teacher's watching them the whole time. He even has cameras pinned on them, watching them. And so they're kind of like, well, so we don't get fired or anything, I guess we'll work together. They didn't even know each other up to that point.
I just thought it was great how Chevy Chase, like, you see him come in with an eye patch and his arm in a sling, and I'm like, why the fuck does he have an eye patch and an arm in a sling? And then he starts, like, taking crypt sheets out of his mouth and, like, unfolding paper and, like, asking Dan Aykroyd for answers.
Like, and then taking his arm, it's a fake arm in the sling.
Yeah.
So he moves his arm out and starts reading, and it's like, okay.
See, I expected more shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie.
Yeah, that's probably our favorite part. Like, what was your least favorite, like, section or even part of this film?
Oh, Jesus. I don't want to be mean and say everything after that part, but kind of everything after that part.
Can you really say that, though? You did fall asleep.
I barely fell asleep. I fell asleep towards the end of it, and they fucked around for so long with that missile. Like, they find that missile, and there's, like, no joke, a half a fucking hour left of movie, and you're like, why is there half an hour of this movie left? Like, it'd be like the end of Caddyshack, like, you know...
You focus on that ball ready to fall into the hole for a half hour.
For a half an hour. And you're like, Jesus Christ, just shit or get off the pot. Like, I don't know. I don't hate it, but it isn't a movie that I'd ever actively seek out. You know, if it was on and I was hungover or something, I was like, fuck it. I need to take a nap.
That's a shining endorsement.
I don't hate this film.
Put that on the back of the DVD. If you're hungover and you want to go to bed, 2 thumbs up.
John Landis thanks you for your honesty.
I don't know what the fuck John Landis is doing with this movie. I think Aykroyd went to him and was like, hey man, can you do me a solid? I'm in a hard spot right now. And Landis was like...
In the 80s? I don't think Aykroyd was hard up for roles in the 80s, man.
I don't think so either.
I think now...
Yes.
now he is.
Fair enough.
But, granted, Aykroyd wrote the screenplay and the story. I don't know what the difference is, but...
No, I kind of agree with Jake. I feel like there was a lot of dicking around in this movie. The jokes, like I'm a big fan of like the really dry humor and sight gags and stuff, slapstick comedy. I like that kind of shit. And it's nice to see Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd like getting out there and doing these movies. I haven't seen a lot of them. Like when they mentioned the Family Guy episodes, there's like Cops and Robertsons. I've never seen that. Or what was the other one?
My stepmom is
a witch.
Alien.
Alien. Yeah. You're right. I haven't seen either of those movies, but
either have I.
And I think Peter refers to them as not being very good or something, or like.
Or no, he goes, "I've seen all your movies," and they're like, and they mention
Cops and Robertsons,
or my stepmother is a alien. He goes, "I've seen most of them."
Yeah.
He just switches his tone.
Yeah.
But speaking of like Cold War comedies, I think kind of discussed it a little bit. I mean, you look at I think it kind of came up in the Family Guy episode. You look at Stripes.
Stripes, I love that movie.
Better movie.
I'll agree. It's a better movie. But one of the most famous like lines from this, there are 2 famous lines from this movie that people may know. The one is the "Would you fellas like a Pepsi?" or "Would you like a Pepsi?" And then they walk in and they have to use the Pepsi machine, and it's a sight gag where they're falling down this massively long tube. The other one is the whole doctor scene where there's like 7 doctors and they all keep saying doctor to each other.
The joke that was so great they had to do it twice.
Yes.
And I'm on the couch like, Jesus Christ. You had one that was okay. I was going to give it a pass, but they had to fucking run through the whole thing 2 times.
Yes. Because they did it when they entered, and then they did it when everyone left.
I guess that was another part that I liked in the movie, where they had to operate on that guy with his appendix and stuff, and they're sitting there biding time because they don't want to fucking cut into this guy because they're not actually doctors.
Like, I think Jake missed the part because I think he was talking, but they're like, okay, we're going to shave the patient because they're going by the book.
Yeah.
And so then they start lathering his face to shave him, but it's an appendix surgery. They're like, okay, we aren't going to do that now.
I saw that part.
Okay.
He had the shaving cream on his...
Mm-hmm.
On his beard, yeah.
And then he died.
Yeah, he like sat up like because his appendix burst from all the pain, and then he instantly died. I'm like, this man's dead.
That was fine. They didn't know where to cut, and the doctors were like shaking their head, and
Yeah,
then they
I like
nod when
that.
he got to the right spot, and then he fucking died. I was like, meh, fine. But where do we go from here? Nowhere.
It's true. It was. So I will admit, some of the parts are hard to watch. I still enjoy the film. Like I said, when I picked this one, it wasn't because I was picking it because I wanted to torture you. I would have picked Mannequin if I wanted to do that. But
I probably would have enjoyed it more.
really,
I don't know. I'm just throwing outlandish shit out there.
I also helped kind of pick it because he mentioned Last Starfighter too. He said Last Starfighter or Spies Like Us.
I don't know why you thought Last Starfighter was a bad movie.
I was going with what I knew. He threw out Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. I was like, yeah, it's a comedy. Let's see that movie.
I went the other way with that. I was like, no.
so which did you enjoy more, the Family Guy episode or the actual movie?
Family Guy.
Yeah, the Family Guy episode.
Because
It's amazing they took most of the film and they put it all.
I was just gonna say it isn't really that great of an episode of Family Guy, to be honest, but it's a half a fucking hour, like 22 minutes maybe.
And they put together most of the movie.
And most of the movie is in the fucking episode. And then, I don't know, even in the episode, you don't really have Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase doing a lot of shit. They're kind of just chiming in every now and then and making jokes about, like, I don't know, they were kind of douchebags in it. Like, they're telling Peter what comedy is, and I'm like, this episode is based on a movie that is not fucking funny to me, so go fuck yourselves. But that's my opinion, man. Apparently everybody liked it. It has a pretty good rating on IMDb.
Yeah. I know it's low on Rotten Tomatoes. It's what, 35%?
35, yeah.
But, like, what is the user review?
As far as the user review, I'm not sure, but on IMDb it's 6.4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that and being like, okay, maybe it'll be okay.
And from what I read, and, like, I was trying to find the actual box office numbers. All I could find is Wikipedia saying it, and IMDb both saying it was a box office success. But I couldn't find what its actual budget versus its actual make was.
It's a problem with those earlier movies made in like the 80s, 70s.
A lot of that shit people just don't know.
Yeah. But a lot of people can tell when something was terrible, like Dune was obviously a bomb.
People love that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like that movie.
I've never actually seen Dune. I know Sting's in it, but...
What else do you need to know?
I've actually heard it's pretty good, but I've never seen it, so I couldn't make a...
I think that movie
decision.
probably deserves the moniker cult classic more than Spies Like Us, but... Again, that's just my opinion. All you rabid Spies Like Us fans, don't leave a comment because I don't care. Please go fuck yourselves.
Is there any movie you've seen, I mean, besides the obvious, like Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd?
Conehead.
You enjoy Coneheads?
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
I enjoyed Coneheads.
Trading Places.
Trading Places is a great film.
Other than that, I can't think of anything with Dan Aykroyd that I was really like, yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm trying to think of his filmography at all. Really.
I mean, he pops up in that, like you said, Adam Sandler shit.
Yeah.
You seen Click?
Yeah.
You know? Or was he?
No, he wasn't in Click.
He was in one of those.
He was in 50 First Dates.
Maybe
He's
that's
in
what
an
it was.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like the mental doctor, right? Yeah.
Chuck and Larry's the fire marshal
chief.
or whatever.
Yeah. He's in another one of his as well. I don't remember which one.
He's just getting that check.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he's there for.
Gotta get that Crystal Skull vodka.
You keep...
Hot off the presses.
Okay, you have mentioned this Crystal Skull vodka before several times.
Uh-huh. Have I actually tried it? No.
Have
Will
you
I?
ever-
No.
Have you tried it? Or would you explain exactly what you were talking about so maybe people can go look this up and maybe be in on the joke?
Dan Aykroyd has his own vodka, Crystal Skull vodka, that you get in a shitty little skull, and it tastes like cat piss. It's probably laced with Mexican hooker blood. I don't want to put any I don't want to start any rumors here about Rob Schneider getting choked out in showers or anything, but...
by immigrants he picks up outside of Lowe's?
Exactly.
Well, with endorsements like these, we're never going to get sponsored by Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull Vodka.
Oh no, we blew the Crystal Skull Vodka sponsor.
You blew it.
God damn it, Jake.
He's actually been in, like, quite a few movies, Aykroyd has, like, in the 90s.
See, yeah, because I'm with you guys.
In 2000s.
I think Trading Places, I think all those damn Adam Sandler films that just keep getting worse. And
Pixels.
he was in Pixels? I
Yeah.
didn't see Pixels. I was like, I honestly, I'm getting sick of Adam Sandler. He is falling off the edge.
Oh yeah, I can hardly agree with you on that.
Just now you're getting sick of him?
No, I got sick of him about 5 years ago. But sadly, I still watch most of his films. Like, I watched that stupid Netflix movie. That
Ridiculous Six?
Yes.
I can't believe you watched it.
Oh, I was working from home. I didn't care.
I think once Little Nicky came out, shit started to go downhill pretty quick.
Popeye's Chickens is shit, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Such a stupid movie.
And then Chevy Chase, I mean, he had Hot Tub Time Machine. He had the Vacation movie. Chevy Chase was huge in the 80s. You had Fletch, you had the Vacation movies.
Yeah, but he pissed it all the way by being a fucking prick to everybody.
Yeah.
And now nobody wants to do anything with him because he's such a cunt.
Well, he started on Community for a really long time.
Yeah, but then he pretty much kicked himself off the show.
Right.
And because he degraded it. So he said he pretty much called the TV series a piece of shit.
And then he kind of... Didn't he want to come back? And it was a weird thing where he thought he'd fucked up. And you're a grown man. You know, this is your career. Say what you will about your job when you're not at your job, but when you have that type of job, you can't just be shit-talking everything you do.
That's a job where you can't really afford to burn bridges.
Like Shia LaBeouf in fucking...
Megan Fox?
No, Indiana Jones.
Yes, yeah.
When that movie came out in fucking tanked, Shia LaBeouf was like, it's fucking terrible, it's dog shit, blah, 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 which it is, but you're in it. And Spielberg said, dude, there's a time to sell cars, and there's a time to, like, stick by, like, your morals. And he's like, that was not the time.
You didn't see Clooney doing that shit when Batman and Robin came out.
Well, I mean, he'll do it now, but it's been how many years?
That's what I'm saying. Like
when
that movie's in the box office and that movie's like, we're trying to get people in the seats.
Exactly. We're talking, that movie was still in the theater, and Shia LaBeouf was like, it's a piece of garbage, and it isn't my fault. And Spielberg was pretty much like, you're fucking done. Like, you're not going to be in any shit that I do ever again.
Like, you didn't see Miles Teller or Michael B. Jordan going out and telling people that Fantastic Four was a
They
piece
just
of
didn't
garbage.
do anything.
Well, Miles Teller, actually, they're doing a sequel to Whiplash, and he kind of came out in an interview and was being a fucking douchebag about, the director didn't come back and get me for the second movie, and, you know, I don't want to say, you know, I don't remember the interview super great, but more or less, he was really salty about the fact that the director didn't come back. And the director had said something about, it isn't personal, it's just, we're going to take it in a different direction.
You can't get butthurt about the direction that the studio wants to take the movie in.
Right. And this was, I want to say it was a blogger that did the interview, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know, it could have just been somebody with a fucking axe to grind, but I did read it and be like, well, you know, that would suck if it was true. But... then again, this isn't a rumor and speculation pod, so...
Well, in the case of Chevy Chase, like, you know...
It's pretty much confirmed.
Well, he's an older guy. He's seen a lot of shit through his career. You know, he's not some young go-getter anymore.
No.
Like, he's making mistakes, burning bridges. Like, that's not really a way to...
Like, I saw him in Hot Tub Time Machine, and that was the first time in a long time I'd actually seen Chevy Chase. Like, he kind of disappeared in the 2000s. I was like, oh, he showed up in Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm like...
Yeah, if you didn't watch Community, you really didn't see anything of him, hardly ever.
Or Chuck. He was on Chuck for a couple episodes. But
I don't know. I don't hate Aykroyd. I think Aykroyd makes a lot of bad decisions. I think he probably thinks that he's funnier than he is. But, you know, he's relatively harmless. He's kind of like Rob Schneider to me. He can go do whatever he wants.
European Gigolo, Rob Schneider.
Well, the thing about Rob Schneider is I don't watch any of his movies.
The hot chick, the animal.
Oh, I saw The Animal.
The stapler.
But I don't know. In my mind, Rob Schneider is so far disconnected from the real world that he's like Zeus to me. In terms of not real.
So Rob Schneider doesn't exist?
I just compared Rob Schneider to a Norse god.
Yeah.
Norse?
Not Norse, Greek. Sorry, I was thinking of Thor. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No, you don't, do you?
All I'm saying is, he kind of goes and does whatever he wants, and it doesn't really affect me, so that's fine. If I don't have to see it, I don't care. And even if I did care, who the fuck cares that I care?
Rob Schneider.
Our listener.
Yeah.
Does he?
It may be a she. Let's not be sexist here.
Yeah.
Use
will.
like they instead of, you know. I was gonna say I didn't even get a chance to talk.
The look on your face as he was saying that.
There was a lot I wanted to say, but I don't want to have to edit it all.
I was expecting you to just slap him.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. There's a lot like, okay, we're gonna go here. Now we're just here. Now we're just here. I agree that the rocket part, you can tell that they had an original ending planned for it, and then they did, for this movie, have to scrap it because it tested so negatively. Like, the end of this film was supposed to end in Armageddon.
Right.
Nuclear holocaust.
Everybody died.
Yeah. But people are like, oh, and this goes back to Jake's point, it's like, is it a spy movie or is it a comedy? And it's like, that is a hell of a downer ending for a comedy. So they fixed it, so they had to do some reshoots so that now it was more of a happy ending.
I'm so confused about a particular part of this movie.
Okay.
If they didn't want it, like we said, dicking around, why on earth would they land in Pakistan and not in Russia to travel all that way? Was it so, like, the Soviets wouldn't see them, like, dropping in or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. The Soviets wouldn't take it as an act of aggression that they dropped into Russia.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they then climbed through the mountains because that was the only way to get into Russia, is to go through the mountains into Russia.
All right. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, if you're wanting to sneak into a country, would you just drop your people straight into it?
Well, Owen Wilson did.
Behind enemy lines?
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
That was an act. He didn't intentionally drop in there.
But he made it fucking work, didn't he?
Yeah, he made that shit happen.
He worked that shit.
God, I forgot all about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch that movie a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a decent flick.
I haven't seen it forever. I
It
know
probably
Gene
doesn't hold up.
Hackman is in it, and that's
Yeah, I haven't
it.
seen it in a while either. Maybe it doesn't hold up. I don't know.
Next week. No, I'm just kidding. Never.
Never.
I won't say never. Maybe someday.
Over the Rainbow?
Someday over the rainbow.
Because, it's not somewhere over the rainbow.
No.
I read a thing the other day that she was on a diet that was like all liquids, and they made her smoke 80 cigarettes a day. And she was like fucking 17. Judy Garland.
Really?
Yeah. Back when they thought cigarettes gave you superpowers.
Yeah.
Like, smoke up, kid. You want to be able to lift this car like I can.
You want to be able to live forever?
But Grandpa's hawking up blood. It's because he's so strong.
The tar is good for the soul.
Hey, who's done more research on the subject of smoking than the good people at the American Tobacco Association?
Yeah.
If you're dead, you can't smoke.
Exactly. They'd be just losing clients left and right.
I just completely quoted Kingpin right there.
Gosh, that's an
The,
event
the,
forever.
the logic checks out.
Yeah. Speaking of Kingpin, there was an actress from Kingpin in this movie.
Yeah, Vanessa Angel?
Yes. Yeah.
Which was her first film.
Yep. John Landis plucked her out from a modeling career.
And then...
And then it comes back to Shaggy.
No, it doesn't.
No,
one
relates to Shaggy in this movie.
Nothing.
They had that Angel song.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
in a roundabout way he
gosh.
tied it in. Fuck you, Jake.
Yeah, fuck you.
Shaggy, I know you're listening. I'll give you a plug for this episode. I'll send you the check in the mail for your 5 cents.
Can we get tickets to that next show that you were playing 10 years ago? And we've come full circle.
And then Donna Dixon is Dan Aykroyd's wife. This is their first film they did together. I'm not sure how many others they did, though.
The opening of a Jensen Tire in Winnipeg. Shaggy. Robba, 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 robba. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I tried moving on, and you
I can't get past that. Back up. Once you hear the Shaggy, it's there. Proceed. I'm sorry.
Any other Rastafarian singers you want to talk about?
Sean Paul.
I never really got into
Bob Marley.
Sean Paul did that Fahrenheit song.
Temperature.
Yeah.
Close though.
That was the UK release. They had to mix it up.
No, they would call that Celsius in the UK.
I'm not firing on any cylinders tonight. Jesus Christ. That was a better joke.
Yeah.
Thank you for salvaging what I fucking ruined.
They could have used it in Spies Like Us.
My brain was like, put that out there. That's good. Nah, that's not good enough. Celsius.
So the British don't use the feet in inches either.
Yeah, they use the metric system.
Fuck it. Whatever.
Paul McCartney also had a hit song. It was a top 10 hit. I had never heard the song, and I didn't know that until I looked it up on IMDb. It plays over the credits. It's called Spies Like Us.
Was it an original song made for the movie?
Yeah, because he made, he did Live or Let Die for the James Bond film.
Good song.
And then,
that was a Guns N' Roses song.
You just gave me cancer.
I could jump.
And you gave Axl Rose an erection somewhere.
He's like, yes, I totally did that song.
He's in his raincoat like Relevance.
Oh, I love the dead air that you just caused for like a second.
I feel proud of myself.
Usually that's Jake.
Yeah. I'm mixing it up tonight.
But yeah, it's called Spies Like Us. It was a top 10 hit. We heard it a little bit over the credits. I'm like, I don't recognize this song at all. Like, not that I'm a Paul McCartney fanatic, but...
Had you not said it was Paul McCartney, I don't know that I would have even known it was him.
Mm-mm. Speaking of Paul McCartney, I'm mad at him because he never let Weird Al cover Live or Let Die. Because he wanted to do Chicken Pot Pie, and Paul McCartney's a vegetarian.
I think you're the only person on earth that's upset about this.
He can totally cover that.
It's a parody.
It's a parody. It's protected under copyright law.
But Weird Al always asks for permission.
Oh.
And Paul McCartney wouldn't give him permission, so he wouldn't record it.
I would have said fuck it and done it anyway.
I was going to say, be mad at Weird Al for being such a nice, upstanding guy.
Yeah.
Tell him to do it anyway.
He's like, you kept this great hit from the world and you could have just done it.
Just give me your blessing.
But now that reminds me, my next film will probably be UHF, Weird Al's movie.
Fuck. Oh, God.
I'm kidding. It won't be my next one.
I swear to God, I'll find something horrific.
It's not that bad.
And I'll laugh the whole fucking time.
So now what? We're just going to torture each other?
I don't know why you picked this movie. Until it was over and you're like, hey man, Ty knew I didn't like this movie enough to actually be like, hey, I didn't pick this to piss you off on purpose.
I enjoyed this film.
Okay.
So I wasn't trying to torture you.
Did you watch it a lot as a kid?
Actually, no. My brother used to quote it all the time. I think my mother also said some lines from it, but I never really watched it. I just knew about it, and then finally I was like, I saw it at Walmart. It was like in a $3 bin. I bought it. I watched it. I laughed. Talked about it with my brother, and then I've watched it several times since then.
Was this like a month ago?
No.
Okay. There's more history behind it than 1 month?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched it 4 times in the span of a month.
I had no, I had never heard anything about it. My parents watched a lot of, comedy stuff. I never heard a word about it.
I never heard of it, ever.
And then I did bring it up to my old man the other day. I was like, hey, you remember a movie with, Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd called Spies Like Us? And he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's whatever. I was like, yep, okay. That's when I knew. Oh, I'm in for a treat.
You just can't like anything I pick.
Pick
Mystery
something
Man.
good. I like the town.
I know.
The fuck are you talking
The
about?
town was sweet.
Well, kind of just consider this payback for Riccio, I guess. Then
I don't think Riccio is as bad as this movie.
I'll watch this.
In terms of entertainment,
For
you're
my-
more entertained by this movie
than Riccio.
What do you think?
Ooh, throwing me in the middle.
Because I think Riccio is leaps and bounds more entertaining than this movie.
I would tend to agree, but that's just me.
There's something happening, albeit what's happening is fucking stupid and doesn't make any sense. But you can you get your brain in a mode where you're like, I don't need to take it seriously.
It's kind of like a train wreck that you don't want to look away from.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you have dummies getting thrown off rooftops and fucking... I don't know.
I was gonna say, I may have more true belly laughs in Riccio, but overall entertainment, I find Spies Like Us better.
Okay.
I'll admit to more, maybe heavier belly laughs, but it's not even the movie itself. It's like the filming of it. Like you said, the mannequin getting thrown off the damn building. That made me laugh pretty damn hard. But it wasn't because of what's happening. It wasn't supposed to be intentional.
Or when they put that guy in the grinder.
Yes, I don't think I laughed at that. I just was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, that was pretty amazing. Just the blood that went everywhere.
And the actor having to wash it off
For 3 days.
for 3 days in the movie.
The actor. Motherfucker. Because that'd be a great movie. Where your character just washes himself for 3 days.
Dude, I'd watch that movie. If that actress was Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, thought you were going to go Daddario with that one.
Oh, yeah, that too. If they were both in the same.
I was just going to say, why not both?
Shut up and take my money.
I was going to make a comment, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
Aw. What? Since when has that ever been you?
It's going to get cut anyway.
So then say it!
Well, I was going to say, if that ever happened, they'd have to put, like, raincoats on all the seats in the theater. You'd have Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens! Oh, the spleen is back in the building!
He gets arrested again. Damn it! I just got my shit together.
I just got my own movie on Netflix!
You guys are really fucking me over. Well, you need to quit jerking off in movie theaters.
Oh, God.
That's a secret word.
Speaking of movie theaters, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but like Marcus, they have those. Marcus is a local chain around here for anybody who's not in our area.
It's not even a local, it's national.
Is it national?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Midwest thing.
It's probably regional, if
Yeah.
at the least.
Okay. A regional movie company. They have these new reclining seats. I hear they have to wipe those down between each showing anyways.
That doesn't surprise me.
Because you got 16-year-old horny kids who like to cuddle up because you can fold up the armrest and then you can lay back and do whatever the hell you want to.
They like to cuddle up and splooge all over them.
Wow.
I did not say that. I didn't go that
Why
far.
the fuck else are you wiping it down?
Sticky popcorn and shit, soda that gets spilled.
Oh, you were implying that they're young and stupid. Well,
Along with the other thing you talked about.
oh,
yes.
so you were talking about it. Dirty dog.
This is not the direction I want. I saw this podcast going in. Actually, no, I take that back. I totally see this podcast
This is
going
how
in that
every
direction.
pod goes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a downward spiral into madness
I
and
don't even bother cutting half the
and
shit
lewd.
anymore.
activity.
Ty's like, you're a child murderer. I'm like, nah.
You're not wrong.
Jake, probably that's why Jake fell asleep during this movie. It's because not one child was even threatened in this movie.
No kids at all in this movie.
No.
No, except for that one on the bus that was up,
Yeah.
It's like
Somebody already got to that one.
He's like sleeping up in a bus. He could have been dead. We don't know.
All according to plan.
It was Pakistan, so we don't know what kind of shit goes on over there.
If you haven't heard any other pods, I'm not a prolific child murderer. It's just a running gag. I swear.
Back to the hospital you go, Jake.
Are you taking your medication?
No.
No. You're hiding it under your tongue.
They always start so playful.
I'm off my meds.
This is getting fucking creepy.
All right. Well,
what else we got? Any interesting facts worth noting?
Well, see, I wanted to know if I could find it out, but like in the Family Guy episode, if anybody's wondering, we have mentioned the Family Guy episode. In Season 8, Episode 3 is a episode titled Spies Reminiscent of Us, and it has Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. They come to Quahog looking for a Russian sleeper spy, and they happen to move into Cleveland's old house, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, they talk about they become spies because Ronald Reagan, who was president when Spies Like Us came out, they said it was his favorite film, and so he actually made them spies. Honorary. So that sets up the whole reason why they're in Quahog looking for this cell is because they're actually spies. But I lost my train of thought again.
I didn't even do anything to fuck with
I know. Oh, I would like to know if this actually was one of Ronald Reagan's favorite films. Thing is, Reagan does show up in Spies Like Us several times, either because he was president, so they have his presidential portrait hanging up everywhere, and then he has a movie that Chevy Chase keeps watching that pops up several times.
It's like a musical or something like that.
Which I found the name of the movie, but I don't remember. But it's Ronald Reagan singing, which is weird. But
apparently, on an interview that Aykroyd did on the Today Show, he said that the movie was supposed to be him and John Belushi. But John Belushi died before they could actually do it, which is kind of funny because John Landis did Animal House, and that was with Belushi too. So
couldn't they just prop him up or something?
Prop up his dead body. They should have gotten Chris Farley.
Or they could have gotten his brother to do it.
Jim?
Yeah.
No. They couldn't have.
Come on, you don't like According to Jim, Jake? And numerous other projects.
Jingle
Jim
All the Way.
Belushi.
Jingle All the Way.
Is he in that movie?
Yes, he's
He was
one of the Santas.
the Crooked Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was, yeah.
Tell him to sit on my bag.
Oh.
It's garbage.
His brother was much funnier.
I need to get the Turbo Man.
Was that your Arnold?
I'm sick. Yeah.
Sick Arnold.
Get to the chopper. Mine's not much better.
Let's hear your Boston accent, Ty.
I don't have one.
The word better is debatable in that sentence. Listener beware.
Bad impressions ahead?
Yup.
Oh, man.
What? Do an impression. Do something.
I'm good. I already did one.
Can you do a shy guy in bondage?
I can't do a shy guy in bondage. That's your own thing, Jake. I can't take that away from you.
Okay.
Because anytime I hear that, I become a little 5-year-old kid on Christmas inside. Which means you want to murder me, but...
That sounded really cool.
Another thing, that guy that you said that was Harold Ramis was not Harold Ramis.
It wasn't?
That was Sam Raimi, dude.
Oh.
Ooh. That's why I didn't recognize him. I'm like, that's Harold Ramis?
It looked like Harold Ramis just with long hair.
No, that was Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi is just Harold Ramis with long hair.
Yeah.
And he isn't dead.
Well, when this film was made, Harold Ramis was a lot younger.
I'm saying today,
And
if you
alive.
see a man... today, if you run into a man that you're like, is that Harold Ramis? It's probably Sam Raimi. Don't talk to him because he's probably still mad about Spider-Man 3. But Sony's stupid and they'll fuck it up again anyway.
They'll do anything. I mean, shit, they'll make a Men in Black 21 Jump Street movie.
That's gonna be fucking horrible.
That doesn't star Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones.
It's gonna be fucking garbage.
Yes, it's going to be garbage.
And it's called MIB 23.
That's fucking retarded. It's gonna be shit.
It's gonna be stupid as hell.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit.
What do you think? What do you think will be better, MIB 23 or the new Ghostbusters movie?
Oh shit.
MIB 23. I have no faith in that new Ghostbusters film.
I agree. MIB 23 will probably be better.
You think Ramis will be spinning in his grave?
For once, we used that, and the person's actually dead.
Yeah.
I think we had said that once before in a different pod, and they were still alive.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, well, like you saying, I can't believe Bob Hope was still alive to do this film. He lived for another 19 more years.
How did I know he would live to be 100, Tyrell?
Did he really live to be 100?
100.
Holy shit.
No, it was his last theatrical feature.
Yeah.
That's what I got confused with. I thought that he had died after that movie, but no, it was just the last movie that he was in.
Because this film is a throwback to his old journey of. So, like, if you watch Family Guy, Brian and Stewie usually have these episodes where they go on this journey. Like when they go to Colorado to recover Stewie's, doll. They've done these several times. It usually includes a dance and song number. But those are throwbacks to Bob Hope's old films, and that's what this was supposed to be as well, was his old traveling comedies.
Yeah.
What was that face?
It failed.
Oh, you're saying the film failed.
Yeah. If that's what it was going for, I didn't get that at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Guys, my opinion doesn't matter. But I get to say it. Because I have a microphone.
And you don't. So you will listen to every damn word I have to say.
I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
Wedding Singer. Nice.
I'm leaving it in.
An Adam Sandler movie that didn't suck.
Yeah, that was young Adam Sandler.
This is why our listeners keep going.
They're like, isn't this podcast about spies like us?
Honestly, with Jake, it's hard to talk about some of this film because there is parts of it that it does fade away. It's one of those films where if you are going to like it, you're just going to watch it, enjoy it, say some of the lines like Doctor.
No.
Fine.
I'm not going to give it... No.
But you'll say some of the lines, you'll enjoy some of the things that happen, but it is hard film to kind of break down and review.
Jake's dying.
Yeah, Jake's been coughing through this whole episode. I think Dark Souls 3 is literally stealing his health.
Or maybe spies like us.
Or
I have no soul.
Well, we knew that before. That's why you always talk about.
You've known for a while.
That's why you always talk about the children and Bill Cosby being your idol.
I keep bathing in their blood, but it's not really doing anything for me. Just barrels full of it. Down in the creek by the house. Good morning, Mrs. Walker. Bathing in youth. Please don't call the police. They were volunteers, I swear.
I wonder if some director will give you a shot at like a
horror movie,
like a reboot of Psycho or something like that.
I would do it justice.
Well,
that's been fucking disturbing.
You doing that kind of reminds me of the Family Guy episode where they're like, have you seen any strange characters that live around here? And Stewie's like, there seems to be a pedophile that lives up the street, but
nobody's done anything
about it because he seems to be funny.
Alright, we got anything else?
I don't think so. I was going to say our entertainment scale.
What would you give it?
Oh, starting with me, the one who actually liked it.
Yeah, well, you picked it. You should go first.
I give it an 8.
Okay.
I'm really entertained by this film. I can watch it. I was smiling most of the time. Like I know when I'm looking at it critically now, like I do notice some of the things, like it does drag in some areas, but I don't know. I enjoy the type of literal humor that they use throughout the film.
I think I'm gonna have to give it a 4.5 I just wasn't all that entertained, clearly because I started falling asleep, which I don't do a lot. Granted, yeah, I'm tired. I've been playing Dark Souls and fucking around and all that shit, but I take movies pretty seriously. I don't usually drift off during them. There wasn't a lot there to hold my attention. I do think the beginning test part was pretty good. I wish that they would have done more with that kind of humor rather than the odd mix mash of, let's do a legit spy movie. Hey, let's try to throw out a line that doesn't really go that well. And, I think if they would have put more effort into the jokes rather than making the spy movie, then it probably would have been a lot more entertaining for me. But I just wasn't super into it.
I give it 6. I do feel like there are a lot of parts where the movie drags. The parts that were funny were genuinely funny. Like the test part when they're operating on the guy. What was I gonna say? If they would have just focused more on it being a comedy, it would have. I think it would have gotten the point across better.
So if there was a Broadway play of Spies Like Us, you wouldn't go see it?
No. I'd have to go to New York to see it in Broadway.
An off-Broadway show.
Oh, an off-Broadway? No, I still wouldn't. Like if it was at the Orpheum?
Yeah.
No. Would you?
I might go check it out.
I might go. It's funny because you recommend it, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, it's like, they had the Spider-Man movies and then they made a Broadway musical Spider-Man.
Didn't somebody die?
I don't know if somebody died. I know a lot of people got injured, though.
Okay, maybe that's what I heard.
They shouldn't have done that.
Did you find your train?
No.
The train of thought has departed?
Did you meet Virginia?
It'll come. It'll come to me.
Did you get the drops of Jupiter?
Now that she's back in that cold castration.
What?
Making her way through the constellation or whatever the fuck that song's about.
Castration?
As she's watching my masturbation.
It's the Paul Rubens True Hollywood story.
There is nothing talked about.
Tell me! That's a secret word! I might have to delete this whole episode. It's just stupidness.
Fuck. Yeah, I lost it. I lost whatever it was. I think it's a 6.
He's all fucked up. He's doing the whole review again.
Jesus Christ.
He wasn't in this movie.
I think there are parts where this movie lacked any sense of direction, but there are parts that make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so on average, that's what, 8 plus 6 plus 4 is 18 and a half divided by 3. So we come out about the actual IMDb average.
Divided by 30.
Why am I dividing by 30?
Because 10 plus 10 plus 10. That's the total amount.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Wouldn't you get the same no matter what?
If you divide it by 3 versus 30.
Well,
this is the math podcast.
I'm not in school anymore. I don't have to do this shit.
If I took 18 and a half over 30 and I divided it down, I would get the same amount as if I took it divided by 30.
Fair enough. I don't have a degree in math, nor do I claim to be a math professor.
I hope we have a listener that's an accountant. They're just like, what the fuck, man? Idiots.
Because
I've never proclaimed to be a math professional.
You're not a mathematician?
No,
all I'm
not
saying
actually.
is we would average our 3 together. We come close to the IMDb average of a 6 or whatever it would be.
Okay.
That's all I was trying to say.
Okay.
A lot of that's your 8.
Yeah, well, he was right on it, the actual IMDb. So
It's a little bit below.
yeah, well, just like Jake.
Really?
I don't even know what that means.
It sounded like a jab at my IQ.
Or
Let's go with that.
Or that you're blowing.
Who?
I
What?
said below.
It's a below, not blowing.
Oh, but it's kind of like a play on words. Never mind.
You're not as good as Dan Aykroyd or Chevy Chase, Drew.
Doctor?
Wow,
Doctor?
that's a hurtful thing to say.
Doctor?
I'm not going to do
Hey,
it.
I know what's funny. Happy Thanksgiving, pilgrims.
Yeah, that'll do it for this week. For Spies Like Us.
Watch the Family Guy episode.
Yeah, if you really don't want to sit and watch the movie, you watch the Family Guy episode, you'll get the gist of what the movie was like. It's a lot of the same type of jokes. And then there's another side story with improv with Peter, Joe, and Quagmire. But
And they make a Ron Howard's brother reference, too. That's
Yeah,
pretty
God,
funny.
that shit's fucking outstanding.
who wasn't actually in Spies Like Us?
No,
I like that
but-
They just joke that he showed up in all these 80s
Yeah,
movies.
they throw Ron
And
Howard's
he's
brother in
the
any
ugliest
anything.
fuck you've ever seen. Playing himself in The Water Boy. Anyways,
yeah.
insulting Ron Howard's brother aside, what's his brother's name?
I could tell you.
His last name's Howard.
All right. Problem solving.
You know the greatest thing Ron Howard ever did? Is he got in Jamie Foxx's Blame It on the Alcohol video. He was in the club with Jamie Foxx in that video.
I can't imagine why.
I think they did a film together.
Is that the song when he's talking about seats all wet in his
Yeah.
ride? That's kind of a fucked up song. That's what I heard on the radio, and I was like, ew. Not very hygienic. I'd be like, you're paying to get this detailed, right?
I like how I tried ending this a while ago. You just kept going.
Ron Howard's brother's name is Clint Howard.
Clint. That's right.
He looks like a Clint. I don't know.
God, that drawing was spot on. Look at that face.
That's a face only a mother could love.
You also recognize Clint from those Austin Power films where he was the guy who was always noticing that Dr. Evil things look like either a male anatomy or female anatomy. He's the first guy. He's always like, oh, that looks like a Johnson. And then they continue that joke. Or he's like, sir, it looks like a big pair of casabas. And then, yeah, he's always the first one to notice that. But
Alrighty.
yep.
Coming up next week, my pick, I have to pick Gattaca, and then you can shit all over that, if you wish.
Gattaca.
Eat my dick, Gattaca! Oh, Rafi. Alright, that's this week for TJD. I'm Ty.
Jake.
I'm Drew.
Bye.
Later.